I taught at Hogwarts. I would teach sex ed there. I would be like, Mr. Potter Potter, you want to understand how to make little titty tatties? Well, I'm going to show you today. With my wand, I'm going to show you the spell of how to put a condom on, right? So how we do it is I'm going to show you the Deadpool skit. This is sex, but now Professor Pope will show you how to personally put a Potter penis in your pussy. Welcome back, guys, to a brand new Sweet Film Podcast. We got a special one for you today, guys. It's just me, Cody, today, talking some special things. Might I say, it has to do with clowns, dinosaurs, and sex. And a little bit of Creed 2 talk will be in there, too, because the trailer does drop sometime this week. We haven't seen it yet, but because we're recording this beforehand, so hopefully this is up before the trailer. If not, we're just going to talk about how excited we are for Creed 2. But before we get into all that, Cody, how you doing today, dude? It's been a while since we've done another podcast. It's just you and me, no one else joining us in today, which isn't a problem.
Yeah, no, it absolutely isn't. You know, it's been a lot of fun doing these podcasts, having guests on and everything, because we like everybody who's watching and listening to learn about some of the friends that we have on this platform and getting to know their tastes and their preferences for movies. But I'm not gonna lie, after having all those guests on here, I'm really glad that we are doing another podcast where it's just us. It kind of feels like we've come home. But before we continue, guys, just as a reminder, with every episode that we do, if you don't have time to listen to the Sweet Film Podcast or watch it, then feel free to go over to SoundCloud and iTunes and subscribe and download the episodes over there, because all the episodes of the Sweet Film Podcast are over there for your listening pleasure. So if you have another time of day that you want to listen to us or watch this, you certainly can do that.
Yeah, just like what Cody says, just go hit it up, go rate it, hit that like button too. And maybe while you're there, come over and subscribe to us as well. But besides that, guys, this is just going to be a nice kickback, relaxing time. Yes, I said we're talking about clowns, dinosaurs, and some sex in there, and we'll kind of just intertwine into there. Overall, Cody, what have you been up to? Like, what have you been doing? Like, nothing related, but like, what have you been doing? Like, relaxing wise, like just kind of chilling.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's been kind of busy because for the people listening who may not know, I actually went out to Arizona to visit Zach, and we got some filming and some project stuff done, and that was a complete and utter blast. And then I've been home, been trying to relax, but been going straight back into work, and now I'm writing again, finished up with a project I need to have done here. But another thing that's happened that you, my good friend, got me back into is being kind of a serious gamer, because
and that's the best thing that you possibly could be is a video game.
Absolutely. Because if you guys don't know, when I was younger, I was a hardcore gamer. I loved video games, but as I got older, I kind of gave them up for a little while, took a little bit of a break, played them on the side here and there. But I went to visit Zach, and yeah, I'm kind of back into them pretty hardcore now. And I, you know, of course, putting life aside and everything, but there are some games that I am looking forward to play, like God of War and Resident Evil 7 and Last of Us for I don't know how many millions of time I'm going to play that game, but we'll see. What about you, Zach?
So pretty much just me. I've been working a lot more. My work's like, hey, yeah, you were gone for 2 weeks, so now you're gonna work all the time now. So cool on that part. Just watching movies pretty much. Saw Tag, really enjoyed Tag. Incredibles 2.
Yeah.
3 times now, love it. Seen Jurassic World 2 tonight, so excited for that. Looking forward to other films coming out soon. Some I can't talk about that I'm seeing yet, but I'm sure if you just look at what films are coming out, you can guess what films are coming out that I'm seeing. But overall, I've actually been in like a really big gaming mood too. I've been addicted to Fortnite, which I never thought I would actually be addicted to Fortnite, but I am truly addicted to Fortnite now. I am like gonna go professional, guys. You guys don't even understand. I'm like, Cody, ever since you left, like the last few days, I don't think you understand. I've literally won like 10 games.
That's impressive.
I'm like really good at the game now.
And another thing you guys don't know is the fact that that's another thing that happened when I was out in Arizona. One of the reasons why I become more of a gamer is because Zach introduced me to a little game called Fortnite. Then him and Cody O'Toole have been begging me pretty much on their knees for me to start playing. And
No, not on my knees. I only get on my knees when I'm doing something and not sucking dick.
You know what, Zach? That's a good point. Although I don't know how that's related. Oh, actually, you don't. I think I kind of do, considering what we're going to be talking about here in a little bit.
Yes,
but no, Fortnite's fun. And honestly, one thing that you guys don't know is, I'm a newbie to Fortnite for sure. But one of the times I had a match when I was over at Zach's house is that I got down to like, I think it was the final 10 and then the final 2. And so Zach's just pretty much like, hey, Cody, give me the paddle. And he took control.
And I died. I died. Fuck it. But whatever. It was fun. It was a fun time. Other things I've been into. I've been really into getting like old games. So I rebought Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, Super Mario Strikers, and Conquer Live and Reloaded. And I also want to go on Xbox One X. Why? Don't know. It's a good console, and I need a new Xbox. And I've played it a little bit. Less than I should have after spending that much money. But it's a good investment for the future. And for people who don't know, I'm opening up a new channel on my YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing Pope Plays, which is kind of like a live stream session. I did it a while ago, but now I'm getting an Elgato device, so hopefully that will help it all work better. The other thing I actually announced on my Twitter is I'm going to start writing a book. So that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think you liked it. Yeah. So pretty much the book series, I'm not going to give too many details away. I'm still like planning the outline because and Cody, I'll probably have to talk to you separately on this because I'm having troubles on starting where to write. I have 3 books in mind for the series, and I don't know exactly because it's weird how the timelines are told. I can pretty much start on either book 1 or book 2, and it doesn't matter which one I do first, but in a sense, it could help for further details down the line. But it's pretty much a mix between Mad Max and Lord of the Rings. So very
awesome idea.
Yeah, so I'll talk to you later about this. More details down the road. Maybe I'll even open up my Patreon to be more on the book series, do some tier stuff on that. I'm still kind of all deciding on that. So
speaking of very R-rated things, we actually have something coming out in the middle of July.
Yeah, it's a short film that you guys need to look forward to. Deadpool meets Wolverine. The trailer is on both of our channels. So if you're listening to the iTunes feed, come look it up. Yes, it's a fan film. Yes, it's not the best quality as Fox Studios, but we are giving you something that Fox Studios never gave you. So that's worth the quality at the most. But there is something that it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It is. And one thing I'm going to touch on that we both really got into over the past couple of months, but we're definitely saving this topic for another podcast. We both got back into the animation of Naruto, which I believe was a big show for us when we were both younger.
Yeah, and it still holds up. It's amazing. Like if you guys watched Naruto when you were younger and you really enjoyed it, if you turn it back on, you'll actually enjoy it more, especially if you're watching like Toonami. If you have Hulu, watch it on there because it's like more blood and not as much censored stuff. So it's even better. But with that said, I think it's time to talk about some of the topics we have today. Now, I think we should get to the main thing, and that's what I was going to say. So the movie news of the 2 clowns. Clowns, you guys, like, what clowns we're talking about? Well, it's the It Cast. The It Cast has been announced. And if you guys don't know, me and Cody are pretty huge It fans. One of our first collaborations was on It Chapter 1, and that was the spoiler review, correct?
Yeah, it was actually.
And then after that, we did a fan casting too, which we actually got a couple right. So that's nice.
And then we went from there, and we actually talked about our problems with modern horror, and pretty much what you guys need to know if you want to understand what started me and Zach doing collaborations and doing the Sweet Film Awards and doing everything that we do it all started with Stephen King's It. It all started with that spoiler review. So you could say that we are very, very excited for It Chapter 2 to come out and the cast that they've got.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm so pumped for It Chapter 2. But let's talk about the cast. Running down the middle, the first one I want to bring up is the one that actually surprised me when they announced it, and that is James McAvoy's Bill. No one was talking about James McAvoy being in this thing. Not a single person. And the fact that he got picked as Bill, which is like perfect casting. I was kind of wanting like Tobey Maguire to have a little comeback and come into this, but James McAvoy, perfect. What's your thoughts on James McAvoy being Bill?
I mean, it's excellent. You know, like you said, it's nothing.
He's one of the best actors out there.
He is. I mean, pretty much every film that James McAvoy has done, be it him in Split, which in my personal opinion, I believe is the best performance he has given, if he's being Professor Charles Xavier, he's one of the best actors working out there today. Originally, fan casting, I thought they may have gotten somebody like Christian Bale, but we pretty much guessed that they were going to get somebody big. We didn't know they were going to get James McAvoy, but I am so happy that they did. And when it comes to other cast members that they've brought onto this project, it proves that although It Chapter 1 didn't have this consideration, It Chapter 2, because it's just so universally loved, even though it is a genre film, it's a horror film, I think it might actually have more chance for Oscar consideration this time around.
Maybe. I'm not going to say too much on the Oscar consideration yet, because there's so many damn good movies that usually come out at the end of the year. It's like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to forget about all those other ones. But I will agree with you on that who knows? I'm curious to see how the script is for this one. The other one that surprised me was the Old Spice guy is playing Mike Hanlon. Yep. And let me tell you, he's a good actor. He's a decent actor. He's been in some decent things, but that was a cool one to see. Jessica Chastain as Bev was the most obvious one. I mean, if she wasn't Beverly, that would have been the more shocking thing for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we were all cheering for Jessica Chastain to be on here. And she's such a world-class actress. I mean, she had Molly's Game. She's had Zero Dark 30.
Still never saw Molly's Game. Dude,
I know. You get the chance.
And you know, I've never even seen Zero Dark 30. I've never seen Zero Dark 30 either.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I know she's a fantastic actress. I really liked her in Mama. She was the best part about Mama. What was the other film she was in that I really liked her in? I cannot remember off the top of my head. But I mean, she's a fantastic actress. Oh, Interstellar, she was good in. Crimson Peak, I actually really liked her in. There's a couple things. Zookeeper's Wife, she was really good in it. Yeah, I've seen all the films she's not known for. And the A24 film, A Most Violent Year, is really good. So, yeah. So, you know, she's in there. But I think the two casting I'm really excited about is Bill Hader and James Ransone as Richie and Eddie. What a perfect cast. James is the perfect Eddie. He literally looks like an older Eddie. And even though I didn't like him in Sinister 2, I like his performance in the film at least, so I'm on board with it. Bill Hader, after seeing Barry, I'll take whatever Bill Hader's in. I love Bill Hader, and I don't think you saw Barry yet, but it's on HBO.
No.
You guys have not watched Barry yet. I proclaim this. This is the best television show I have watched in 2 years. It is so well done. One of the best new shows ever. I'm not going to say it's one of the best shows ever, but one of the best shows ever debuted. Such an original concept. And it has a mix of Dexter mixed with Chuck, which is two of my favorite things put together. So what can I say about that?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. Bill Hader was the one actor that, you know, even Finn Wolfhard was like, yeah, I think they should get Bill Hader to play an older version of Richie, play an older version of me. We all wanted Bill Hader to be Richie in It Chapter 2, but I think there was some level of skepticism. Yeah, it's something that we want. It's not necessarily an actor that we think they're going to get to be Richie, but I could not be happier. I mean, when it comes to anything that Bill Hader has been in, I have been the biggest fan of this guy since I saw him in Trainwreck. I mean,
dude, I've been a big fan of him since SNL. I've been following this guy ever since. I love him, and I'm so glad that he's actually coming to his own. You're right on Trainwreck. Trainwreck was a very breakthrough performance for him and Amy Schumer that year. And I'm just happy. I'm telling you, man, you need to watch Barry. It'll change your perspective on him because he writes all the episodes, he's directed some of them, but his performance in it is Emmy worthy. It is so good. So good.
I mean, you say I should watch Barry, then again, I should get on and watch the rest of Westworld, which I have not had a chance to do yet.
Yes, that's another thing. But and then going into I
mean, James Ransone, he's the one, you know, I am going to take your word for it, but James Ransone, I have not seen this guy in anything.
Don't watch Sinister 2. Trust me, don't. Just don't. It'll actually ruin the first one for you. No, I'm serious. I don't like. He's in the first Sinister. He's the deputy, even though it's a small part. He? Yeah, that's why he's the main. So they took the deputy so and so, literally from the first film. You remember that character?
Yes, I do.
He gets the autograph. He is the main character in the sequel, and he's burning down houses that the boogeyman has shown up in. Why? I don't know. But trust me, do not watch Sinister 2. It will literally ruin the first one. Like, I do not like the first one anymore because of the second one.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
But he's also been in Generation Kill, which he's really good in too. So there's a good cast in there. I can't really speak for Jay Ryan, who plays Ben, and Andy Bean, who's playing Stan. I'm sure they'll do good. I'm curious that Jay Ryan got it because Ben's a pretty prominent character in the book. Stanley has a prominent moment, but not like the biggest thing in my opinion. I'm sure you're kind of with me on that. Yeah, so I kind of understand the reasoning for that.
I mean, with these actors, because a large majority of the new cast members that they've got, be it Isaiah to play Mike or Jay for Ben.
Even Andy, James Ransone as Eddie, he's not the biggest actor.
I mean, these aren't big guys. For the main part, they're television actors. But
yeah, which is fine. That's great. I'm glad they did that.
I mean, I think the nice part about this is I have faith in Andy Muschietti for directing these guys in It Chapter 2, not only because he's so passionate about it, but if you take every actor that was in It, except for Finn Wolfhard, who had been in Stranger Things, which we all know is a fantastic show, none of these actors had really been heard of at all. And it seems a large majority of the actors that they've picked for It Chapter 2, they aren't very well known. And that makes me excited for them because I feel if he captures the best performance from them that he can get, like he did with the kids in It Chapter 1, I feel like these guys, their careers will be through the roof after this film.
Oh, yeah, I agree. It's just like the first one. All these kids are now going to be fucking famous. So it's great to see that. But we also have another clown thing to talk about. And it's not Pennywise related. It's 2 freaking Joker films are being made. Now, this is going to be a completely different discussion that I could bring up talking about the DCEU. But I think I want to save that for like Comic-Con weekend when they announce like whatever the fuck they're doing. But 2 Joker films. Now, 1, I'm really excited for. 2, I'm not like 100% not excited for, but I don't think it's needed. In a sense, they're not both. Neither of them are needed. But I want to talk about the Jared Leto one first. Do we really need a solo Jared Leto film? Like, I just wanted him to be the villain in a Suicide Squad film or a different type of film like Batman.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing. Originally, I was like, yeah, when I saw Suicide Squad, I was like, yeah, I want to see this Joker have his own standalone film with Harley Quinn.
Fine in the role. I thought he was good. Like, he wasn't horrible.
I'm like, at this point, I'm like, no, I don't want to see a standalone Joker film. You know what? If he's listing, the fact of the matter is, the only thing that I would like to see Jared Leto do if he's a character that is weird and eccentric and evil, if there is one character I want him to be, it's Orochimaru in a live-action Naruto film. That's what I want from Jared Leto.
But see, like, I do like him as the Joker. I thought he was decent. It's just for me, it's like, if the universe was set up, I would be fine with a Joker solo film. If it had the payoff that the MCU has already had, like if they announced tomorrow a Loki solo film, would I be like, no, we don't need it? But would I be excited for it? Probably not. But would I be like, that's cool, I'll go see it? You know what I mean? Because they've already established everything else. The thing is that you guys have not established shit in your universe. You've tried, but it doesn't work. Establish this damn universe. Establish it. You're planning a Black Adam film. Why? Pop him into Shazam first. Please, I get it. It's The Rock. He's going to make you money on whatever the damn film he makes. But it goes to say this. Jared Leto is a fantastic actor. Fantastic. He was great as the Joker. I didn't see Leto. I saw the Joker. But I don't need a Joker solo film.
No.
I don't need one that ties in this world that doesn't make sense. Now, is this thing even going to happen? Who knows? It probably won't. But it's, for me, the Harley Quinn movie makes more sense because you established her as a character. And at least you're going to be furthering the world of that. The Birds of Prey, Batgirl, Poison Ivy. That's cool. Am I 100% on board with it? No. Because where's my Flash movie? Where's my Batman movie? Where the fuck is Man of Steel 2? Come on. You haven't even made an Aquaman movie yet. It hasn't even come out yet. For all we know, it's going to bomb. Hopefully not. It looks beautiful. All the images look great. But what the fuck? What the fuck? I'm sorry, but it literally at this point, every time I hear them making a new story, I'm like, can you just make a fucking Batman movie? How fucking hard is it for you to make a Batman movie? It can't be that damn hard. Same with Man of Steel. It can't be that hard to just make a sequel. Man of Steel 2 is probably your best movie. And you can't make a fucking sequel. No, it's like it's like this. Let's make a Steppenwolf movie. I'm sorry, but Joker got like pretty much not as bad as a reception, but pretty close. Sorry, just saying. Yeah. And I'm a fan of the DCU. I've been proclaiming for them to be good, and they're not. I'm sorry, like Suicide Squad, horrible, just horrible mess. I know there's fun elements to it, but I know I'm getting on a rant right now, but I kind of have to because this is pissing me off.
No, I see what you're saying here, Zach. I mean, it's a point. I mean, it boils my blood too, because here's the thing. There are two good films in the DCEU, two great films in the DCEU, I would say. Man of Steel, definitely. Man of Steel is an absolute masterpiece. Yes. And then Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is a good movie. Now, here's what I find funny.
I'll even fight this. Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Edition, is a good movie.
Yes, it is. I'm with you there. But if we take most of the ensemble pieces that the DCU is trying to do, let's see here. Suicide Squad, Justice League. Look, Justice League, it's fun in the theater. But you can say it's fun. You can say the movie is fun all you want, and
this isn't Transformers. This isn't a Transformers franchise. I'm literally fucking shaking. Transformers. Yeah. The thing is, Transformers shouldn't even be a guilty pleasure. It should just be a good film, but it's not. As much as I make fun of that, The Last Night can be enjoyable in some parts. I will never watch the film again unless a gun is pointed to my head.
It's so bad.
It is bad. And even the first one, I don't have any interest to ever watch again because it's not good. There's a way to make these films good and they're not. But that's it. Again, I'm going into a different... The DCU has an issue. And here's my thing. There will be people who say, well, the first few years of Marvel wasn't the best. I'll go with you on that. They weren't the best films. Like, Iron Man's a great film. Incredible Hulk, some find it underrated. I find it okay. Captain America: First Avenger, find it kind of boring. It's okay. Thor, honestly, not a big fan of it. Avengers, probably the best film in that first phase. The thing is the DCEU doesn't have phases. It has, we're going to throw a film out this year and hope it's like if I kept shitting on the ground and I would pick it up and fucking throw it at the wall. And if it sticks, it's awesome. So it's like if a giant, like Kevin Soup Kanara or whatever the fuck his name is, took a bunch of shit that he just put in a toilet, crumbled it up with all the money he has, and threw it at the wall as hard as possible. And if it stuck, it stuck. Guess what? Two of those films stuck. Man of Steel and Wonder Woman. And in some people's eyes, Wonder Woman was the only one that stuck.
Here's Here's one of the biggest things that I think is the problem with the DCEU and with everybody on that whole team is the fact that they're just too reactionary of a studio.
Yes, absolutely.
They're literally too reactionary of a studio. If you look at the films, that the DCEU was made that were not reactionary. Nobody was pining for a Man of Steel movie when it started out, and nobody was pining for a Wonder Woman movie when it was coming out. Those are the two best films in the DCEU right now. And Batman vs. Superman, the Ultimate Edition. I'll give you that. That is a great film as well. But you look at the theatrical edition of Batman vs. Superman, that thing was trash. And then you look at Suicide Squad and Justice League. Those movies...
You can find entertainment values to them, but that's not what these should be. These should be good.
I mean, also, you look as soon as Suicide Squad came out, everybody was like, oh, you know what? Deadshot, Harley Quinn. Those are the two best parts of the Suicide Squad, guaranteed. What happened like a month later? Oh, we're going to have a standalone Harley Quinn and Joker movie. The only reason why they put that...
Sure did they announce a Deadshot film too? I'm pretty sure they announced a Deadshot film.
Yeah, they did.
With no word about it.
I mean, there was no thought process. There's no thought. What people don't realize about what Marvel does so well is the fact that leading up to Infinity War, Kevin Feige, the entire team behind Marvel, they have been planning this from the very beginning.
Yes. And that's my thing is that Comic-Con, this is their year because no one else is going. Marvel's not going. Game of Thrones isn't going. Westworld isn't going. I'm pretty sure some other studios aren't even going. DC, fucking hear me out. If you guys have a solid plan and you actually fucking stick to it, because I remember a couple years ago they had a solid plan. They showed all those logos and just never went with it. They got to have a plan. I mean, if they come out guns blazing, this is who's going to be in this. This is our new Batman. This is our director. This is our writer. We're making this. This is when we're filming it. I'm so on board. Yes, they have, like, we hear rumors and we hear plans. Like, we hear the guys who did Game Night are doing the Flash film. Great. Awesome. When's it filming? What's it about? Who's in it? Cool. We see Wonder Woman 2's filming. Awesome. We see Shazam's done filming. Awesome. Where the fuck's the Batman movie? Where the fuck is Man of Steel 2? Where the fuck is a Teen Titans film? Of any spinoff. Where the fuck is that? We hear about a Nightwing film. Go on.
Yeah. No. What I was saying, break off from the DCEU real quick. For those of you who don't know, the creators of the original Teen Titans, that show that we all loved growing up, if you guys didn't know, there is a promise kept by them, by the studio and everything. Hopefully, if we all go out and support Teen Titans Go, even if we hate it,
I'm getting plastered. I'm getting fucking plastered before that movie.
There is a possibility that they will bring back the original Teen Titans show and finish it and bring it to a proper conclusion like we've all been hoping for.
So do you want to hear my really big theory? This is completely off basis and we're talking about Teen Titans Go, but this is our podcast so we can get off basis as fuck as we want to.
Let's go down the rabbit hole.
Teen Titans Go. My big theory for that film is they will. I'm saying this right now, and if this doesn't happen, I'll walk out of the theater and give it an F. I don't even care if I enjoyed the film. And maybe this is just my expectations. Maybe this is why people don't like The Last Jedi. But I am getting into that kind of theory speculation with this film. And I probably shouldn't be. My theory and speculation is that the actual old animation for the original Teen Titans show will show up in some way, shape, or form in this film. Whether it be a couple seconds, whether it be a whole minute. I'm saying it's literally the last half of the film. I'm thinking the last 20 minutes, I think it's going to change. I think something's going to happen and it's going to go boop and change them back.
Nope, I'm absolutely with you there. I am absolutely with you there. And I really hope that happens. I certainly do. And you know what? Here's the thing. Back to the DCU, which it for those of you who are out there who have not seen the original Teen Titans and you want to see a really good comic book show that does the heroes justice and is a great show, watch Teen Titans.
Yeah, it's great.
It's so well done.
So are the graphic
back to the DCU.
Yeah, so the DCU. We're talking about two clowns. Sorry, we got really off focus and ranting.
Here's the thing. When it comes to the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie that apparently Martin Scorsese was executive producing or not, here's the thing. I am cautiously optimistic for it.
I'm really excited for it. Even though
don't know much.
We don't need it. But it's a cool concept that they're splitting up these different one-off films. Like, that's a cool idea. You could do Gotham by Gaslight, or the Samurai Batman film, or these other kind of one-off things like Swamp Thing and maybe a Wonder Woman thing like that. It's a cool idea. And it's
absolutely.
I love what they're doing with that. But again, I want a solid plan. I want to hear what you're doing.
Me too.
And Joaquin Phoenix Joker's fantastic. A one-off film, that's going to sign him up. Todd Phillips directing it. I'm a huge fan of War Dogs. So
now, honestly, yeah, with the team that I see what you're saying, Zach. I mean, with the team this is my one stigma on this. If this is going to be a Joker solo film, and we're going to get into the dark, seedy underbelly of what the Joker does in his free time, I do not want this movie to be PG-13. I want them to have the balls and make a rated R Joker movie.
Yeah, because if they're going that way, I'm with you. It has to be rated R. It has to be rated R.
I mean, they got Joaquin Phoenix. I mean, if you look into the comics, when it's purely the Joker, even if he's going up against Batman, this isn't a character that should be brought into, if he's going to have a solo film, it should not be PG-13. It should be a hard R when it comes to the Joker. And I'm just hoping that those working over at Warner Brothers and the DC have the balls to actually do it. And considering that the budget they have for the film, it might only be $55 million. I am in hopes, because if they are going to do that smaller story with the Joker, I am just optimistic that they're going to go that way, because I don't want a PG-13 solo Joker movie. I really don't.
No, I'm with you on that. I don't. Like, the Jared Leto one, fine. Whatever. It comes out, we get a PG, whatever. I'll deal with it. The Joaquin Phoenix thing is different. If you're doing it under this underbelly company, you're only making it for like $50 million. I have to expect that you plan on doing an R rating. And there's no excuse that R-rated films can't make money anymore. That's stupid. Because Deadpool is the highest rated X-Men film, highest grossing X-Men film.
I mean, you look at Get Out. Get Out was made for $3 million. It made over $200 and I think $15 million in the box office.
That people can't complain anymore. And a Joker film's not going to make $1 billion at the box office. So for me, I look at it and I'm like, whatever. It's going to happen. I hope to God actually this Joaquin Phoenix one. I want to see what they're doing with it. Nothing's been announced. It's just been rumored, and it's like, show me it, please. So, again, I think Comic-Con, I think they're just holding back everything. I think they're going to blow the doors off, and they'll probably win Comic-Con because no one else is there. But that's good for them. And I again, as much as I rant, I just want the best for the DCU at this point. I just want the utterly best for them and an actual fucking plan. And not just 2 fucking clown films. Like a Batman film or a Man of Steel film. So please, Warner Brothers, please get your shit together.
Yes, please.
So with that on said, let's talk about Jurassic Park. Woo! So we're talking dinosaurs. So I love dinosaurs. I don't know what you think. Do you like dinosaurs?
I love dinosaurs.
Okay. So dinosaurs are cool. Jurassic Park is a classic to me. I grew up with this film and I loved it. And even I'll say this, I like 2 and 3. Do I think they're masterpieces? Fuck no, they're bad. But when I was growing up, I had enjoyment in all these films, 1, 2, and 3. Then Jurassic World comes out, and I think I like Jurassic World more than most people do. I think it's the second best Jurassic Park film.
I agree with you there.
I think, but I think a lot of it happens to be with Chris Pratt. Just his charisma he brings to roles, and of course, we're doing this podcast this week because Jurassic World 2 was coming out this weekend. I'm seeing it tonight. You're seeing it, I'm guessing, Thursday night.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what's exciting is I'm excited for it. I know some people who have seen it, and half of them really liked it, and half of them fucking hated it. So I am, and for people who don't know, Jay Vaders, who we had on the summer box office or summer movie preview, he was not excited for it, and he's one of the majority that hated it. I think he gave it 1 out of 5 stars.
Yep.
And I know some people gave it 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5. So from everyone I've heard is that there's one thing in this film that either just makes you like the film or makes you hate the film. So I'm curious to see what that is. Obviously, I'll text you my reaction tonight, and my review will probably be up tonight or tomorrow morning. I'm excited for it. Again, J.A. Bayona is one of the best directors working today. A Monster Calls made me cry like a little baby.
The Impossible is excellent.
It's excellent. And have you seen that interview with Chris Pratt, how Tom Holland spoiled Jurassic World for him?
Yeah, I saw that. I absolutely
don't know this. Is Tom Holland, if you guys don't know him, he's Spider-Man. He spoils everything. So J.A. Bayona is like the first movie he was ever in was Impossible, and with J.A. Bayona. And J.A. Bayona and him were talking, and I guess they're friends, and he told him the plot of Jurassic World 2. So on the set of Avengers, he's like, yo, dude, there's going to be a volcano in Jurassic World 2, and told him everything. Chris Pratt's like, I don't even have the script yet. So
and then he goes over the script and he's like, yeah, he wasn't lying.
No, so it's funny to see that kind of stuff. But Cody, are you excited for Jurassic World 2?
I am, actually. I'm really excited for it. Like, it's one of those things where when a new Jurassic Park is kind of like Star Wars for me. Whenever a new Jurassic Park movie comes out, I'm going to be super excited for it, and I'm going to be there. Even if I'm hearing the movie's bad, I'm going to be there out of some morbid curiosity, because Jurassic Park is a really personal thing for me. I grew up with Jurassic Park like everybody else pretty much, and it's one of the movies that I watched regularly on repeat, and it's one of those movies that to this day I will watch a lot of. I mean, it's one of those films that just changed everything. I think Spielberg is, in my opinion, besides Denis Villeneuve, I think Spielberg is the best director working today. And Jurassic World, I understand that there are people, I don't particularly care for Jurassic Park 2. I think the first half of it is really good. I think the second half of it, when dinosaurs get to the city, I think is very poorly executed.
That's where I'm a little worried about this film. It kind of looks like they were just rehashing some of the plot lines. So
yeah, but I mean, with J.A. Bayona on board, I am nervous about that as well. However, the thing that makes me happy about J.A. Bayona being on board that they did not do with Jurassic Park: The Lost World is that what I'm hearing is the second half, that horror element that J.A. Bayona promised us that we were going to get. What I've been hearing is, even if people didn't like the second half of it, people are saying that the horror elements are there. And that's what makes me excited for it.
I can agree with you on that. I love the horror elements. I mean, that's kind of what made the first one, was those horror core elements. I mean, the first one's a classic. Like, it's one of my favorite Spielberg films. Not one of my favorite films of all time, surprisingly. I'm sure a couple years ago it probably would have been, and maybe if I start rewatching it more, it probably will be, because I just rewatched it like a couple days ago to get prepped for this one, and it's good. It's actually, it's not even good. It's excellent. It holds up. I'm a big fan of just dinosaurs in general. Like, Land Before Time is fucking amazing, but
Littlefoot's mother died.
Fucking depressing shit. Do you know what company made that film?
Company?
Like what studio? Do you know what studio made that film?
Lucasfilm.
Yeah. Which is it's cool. George Lucas had his hand in making one of my other childhood things, and he didn't fuck that up with midi-chlorians. But yeah, just Jurassic World 2, I'm excited for it. I heard there's a scene where they zoom in on her shoes to show that she's not wearing heels. Which, if that happens, I will
movie made.
I will give it an A+, because that was the thing that I hated in the first one.
It made no sense whatsoever.
But again, Jurassic Park, I'm glad it's not like, it's gone kind of in this category where it was excellent film. Second one's just okay. The third one's a guilty pleasure of some sort. And Jurassic World, it's kind of both. It can be a guilty pleasure, but it's also a good film. And what's this one going to fall under? I don't know. I think people need to take the realization that we will never get the same magic of watching the first Jurassic Park again.
No.
In any film. Not. And again, I mean, the argument can be said, well, you got the same magic when Force Awakens popped up. That is true. You know what I mean? Like, when I saw Force Awakens, the magic was there when I went to go watch it. It felt like I was watching a Star Wars film. And I don't know if that was the same for you.
I mean, it was. Look, with The Force Awakens, it definitely felt like Star Wars had come back. It felt like the magic was back. Here's the thing, though. I think one thing that people forget about is that Star Wars and Jurassic Park kind of had the same end. Like at the end of the prequels of Star Wars, people thought Star Wars was dead. At the end of Jurassic Park 3, people thought Jurassic Park was dead.
I thought it was just getting started. Once I saw that shit scene, I was like, hell yeah, boy.
I have a feeling, though, that the hype for Jurassic World, when it came back, it was very much like the hype that we got for Force Awakens. I mean, Force Awakens, as we know, it was the highest grossing box office film for the longest time for an opening weekend. And Jurassic World, when Jurassic World came back, opening weekend, it made over $200 million. So I'd say, even though it may not have felt like it in the movie theater, the hype for Jurassic Park to be back leading up to Jurassic World, it was definitely similar.
Well, I mean, it was one of the highest grossing films. It was one of the highest grossing films. So it's there. This one won't make as much money, though. I think it'll make a little bit under, but it definitely won't make like it hit 2 billion, right?
Yeah, I mean,
it's not gonna hit
2 billion. Yeah,
yeah.
No, honestly, opening.
No. Okay, I'm gonna look this up. This is gonna bother me.
Opening weekend when it comes to Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, I think it'll do the same amount of numbers that The Incredibles 2 did. I think it'll make about 170 to 180 million dollars opening weekend. That's with everything that we're getting right now. Mixed reviews, so I'd say like 175.
It had the highest opening weekend at the time. And a high domestic. Its domestic was $652 million.
Wow.
And the worldwide was $1 billion. So literally in the foreign markets, it had already made $1 billion. Now I'm curious to see what Jurassic World 2 is already at, because it's already out everywhere else. The United States is the last place, which I would rather have that, because Ant-Man is actually not going anywhere else opening weekend. So it's already made 372 million worldwide in its first week. So
I mean, it's
already made its budget back.
I find it actually kind of interesting, the fact that Jurassic World and The Force Awakens, they came out in the same year.
That is surprising. Yeah, that is true. And this year we got Solo, and that film bombed. So who knows, that kind of weird stuff. But I certainly am excited for Jurassic World 2.
Speaking of
I'm skeptical on it. Oh, are we getting to the next thing though?
I think we should.
Okay, so we're talking about dinosaur sex now. This is the one disappointing thing I've never seen in Jurassic Park, is why don't the dinosaurs have sex? Isn't that the easiest way? Instead of cloning them, why don't you just make them repopulate? I'm sorry, but that's probably easier and probably healthier for them. And it doesn't.
They got the DNA of frogs.
So I mean, yeah. So why not just make them do the clap? I mean, I'm sure there's porn out there that does it.
Do the clap.
But in all seriousness, you guys are probably wondering what the sex talk was in here, which we'll get to in a little bit, because the Creed 2 trailer debuted this week. We haven't seen it yet because we might be filming this before it comes out. I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I'm a little adamant thing because Ryan Coogler isn't coming back, but he did handpick the director, so that's a little exciting. Are you excited for Creed 2? Do you think they should have just left it at Creed 1? I think it's a little bit too late. I think they should have hit it a little bit earlier.
Honestly, when it comes to Creed, I like the first.
I like the first one was excellent. I think it's one of the best Rocky films.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I only just caught up with Creed this past week because I had never seen it before, and I knew Creed 2 was coming
fucking
out.
Christ! Podcast done. Goodbye, people.
Hey, wait! No, you can't do that because I said I watched it. I'm not like some Cody O'Toole who's never seen Star Wars or a single Quentin Tarantino film.
You can't give him Tarantino shit because you just watched those for the first time not that long ago.
Yeah, that's true. I can't really throw shade that direction, can I? But anyway,
you didn't see Creed in the theaters?
No, I didn't. Honestly, I've never been. No, I guess I've never.
Have you seen all the Rocky films?
Yes, but I've never been the biggest fan of the Rocky films. I like the first one. The first one is great. All the other ones,
I'm not like a huge fan of them. Like, actually, I am. I like them, but I will admit, like 1 and 2 are really good, and then after that, kind of like they're all fun.
Yeah.
but they're not
Yeah,
like the first one. But that's why I think Creed's like the second best one. Some may argue it's the best in this movie.
But yes, Creed, I absolutely love Creed. I think everything that they did with it was great. And I'm excited for Creed 2. I think the story is progressing in a natural way, the way it should. But I think you're right. I think this particular story, I think it's a little bit too late to tell, but we'll see.
And Ivan Drago, he's coming.
I mean,
he's coming back.
I love Michael B. Jordan, as we all do. I love Sylvester Stallone, as we all do.
And Tessa Thompson, my baby girl's in it too. I'm just saying.
Yeah, if you guys couldn't tell from
I love Tessa Thompson. I love Thor. Tessa. She not even from Thor. This is the first time I ever saw her. Not even, dude. This is the first time I ever saw her. I remember, and I was like, "Damn, she is taking my heart." Her music, everything. Is so on board with her.
But yes, I am like with the Joker movie. I am cautiously optimistic.
I forgot it's coming out this year too. That was the crazy thing. The fact that it's coming out this year. I thought it wouldn't be till next year. So it's awesome. I can't wait. But guys, we're talking about sex now, and not dinosaur sex, not any of that kind of sex. We're talking about our favorite sex scenes in films. Why is that? Because, well, one, it makes for a clickbaity title, and two, why not? So what I wanted to throw out for the podcast is each week I want to throw out, and this is just starting because this is actually a question I got from a Q&A that I never answered, and I wanted to put it into this podcast. So I think once a week, once every podcast, we're going to take one question from the last podcast. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below, and we guys will pick one for the next podcast. I think it's a kind of idea, gets you guys into it. And eventually, me and Cody will do a live stream podcast episode. We don't know when. We kind of just like doing these kind of ones where we can edit it up. But of course, that will. So again, leave a comment, leave a question. Can literally be about anything. You fine with that, Cody?
Yep.
Anything. Yeah. Anything you guys want to know.
Absolutely.
You want some girl advice? You want some
writing advice?
Yeah, anything. I'll answer it for you. Just maybe not too personal because we are picking them. So if multiple people pick one, you get it. And I'll also be doing it on Twitter too. So I'm gonna be pulling from Twitter. I'm gonna be pulling from YouTube. It's gonna be a bunch of things like that. But Cody, so we decided to pick 3 scenes and 2 honorable mentions. So do you want to say your 2 honorable mentions, then I'll say mine?
Yep. Okay. So my first honorable mention is from Superbad. It's the scene between Martha,
Michael, Sarah, and her.
I'm just gonna say, yeah, Michael, Sarah, and her. It's the scene where they go into McLovin's. They're at a party at McLovin's, and they go into I believe it's his parents' bedroom, and they attempt to have sex. Except Martha, she's completely wasted and drunk while trying to have sex with Michael, Sarah. And the reason why this is so memorable for me, it's not for any other reason than I think this scene is hilarious. Like,
it's funny.
Funny. I've seen Superbad a few times, and I think the movie's hilarious. But this scene might very well make the movie for me just because of how funny it is. Because all these kids are in high school and this particular situation pops up. And yeah, so there's that. And then the second one, my second honorable mention is The Shape of Water from this past year.
So he likes fish sex, guys. He loves when fish have sex.
Yeah, obviously, I'm horny for bestiality. That's
and I'm guessing
great.
You love the egg timer when she's in the bathtub.
No, I find that extremely weird. Okay,
I do it all the time. I set an egg timer. I'm like, damn, this is how fast the time I gotta go.
It's a race.
I sit in the bathtub too with my pet fish. I grab my fish tank and I pour them all into the bathtub with me, and I sit there with my egg timer. And I tell myself I got 30 seconds at most with these fish before they kill me.
Well, anyway, Shape of Water. It's not the egg time. Look, the reason why I love that scene isn't for the fish sex. It's simply because of what the movie means, because of what the scene means. Because I'm a big romantic comedy guy. I'm a big romance guy when it comes to movies. And this scene is significant not only because it's a very romantic, very sensual moment, but it's also because the purity of what it means that honestly, it shouldn't matter who you are, what you look like, who you are as a person. We should be loving everybody as much as we possibly can.
Yeah, I agree. And I agree with you on that. So I actually have 3 honorable mentions because I just remembered one. And I do want to bring that up, and I actually pushed it into my top 3. So I'm sorry, Cody. I didn't mean to throw that on you. But my first honorable mention is a comedy one, and it's funny, and it's fucked up. It's MacGruber. That sex scene, I remember when I watched it for the first time, I was like, what the fuck am I watching? I remember my parents were right next to me. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Just what? Why? I sound like the birds from Finding Nemo instead of why? Because it's just, but it's funny. It's hilarious. The second honorable mention is 300, the second one or the first one. Both fantastic scenes. Probably the hottest scenes I have on this list, to be completely honest. And then my third favorite scene is Her. Pretty much any of the scenes in Her that deal with this. A lot of it's all over the phone because you can't actually do it. But it's just cool. It's just, I love Her. It's a very emotional film. And yeah, I really like Her. I'm probably going to watch that later today. I love Her. But so, Cody, do you want to start with your number 3, my friend?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no. My number 3, as far as sex scenes in movies go, is actually Avatar.
He loves hair touching hair. I'm telling you, he loves blue people. He loved the fish. Now he loves the Avatar. I don't know what you're into, my friend.
Oh my gosh.
That type of shit.
Look, I don't watch movies for sex, Zach, unlike some people in this room.
I do. Well, I'm not in your room.
That's
so
true.
Technically, you're saying it's you.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm a horny little devil. No, Avatar, which if you guys ever seen Witches of Eastwick, you'll get that reference. But Avatar is kind of the same. You guys will notice there's a certain theme when it comes to the sex scenes that I've chosen when it comes to the movies I watch. Avatar is pretty much for kind of the same reason for Shape of Water, is because it's not only a pivotal moment in the film where Jake and Neytiri, they finally fall in love with each other. However, it is also a pivotal scene in Jake Sully's progression as he figures out, does his heart belong more to humanity or does it belong with the Na'vi people? And when him and Neytiri finally have sex and they finally mate for life under the Tree of Life,
with Zoe Saldana, another beautiful woman.
Yeah. It's just a pivotal moment where Jake realizes what is most important to him in his life. And that's my number 3. What about you, Zach? What's your number 3?
So, I took one of mine out of my list because I know you're going to say it. So, my number 3 is Gone Girl. Gone Girl is...
Which one?
The one when she slits the throat.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one that really sticks out to me. I remember when I read the book, that scene was like, whoa. And I remember seeing in the audience where probably no one in the audience had even read the book. I knew it was going to happen, but everyone else was like, whoa, like it's crazy. It's just a very intense scene. And I mean, fantastically portrayed by Rosamund Pike. Like one of the best performances of that year. I thought she should have won that year. I thought she gave an excellent performance, probably the performance of her career, to be honest. Like, I don't think she hasn't really had a performance since then. I think she will eventually, but I think that that role was written for her. And it's not hot, it's bloody, it's gross, and she's manipulative bitch, but she does it right. And yeah, it's gruesome. I enjoy it in some way, shape, or form. What about you, Cody? What's your number 2?
My number 2 is from my favorite film of all time at this point, Blade Runner 2049.
He likes robot sex.
I just a hologram, but
I'll go with you. This was actually on my list too, but I took it out because you did it. It's a great one actually. That's one of my favorite scenes in the whole film.
Yeah, no, I'll actually let you share this one with me because this is a scene that I think is worth talking about because putting all the emotional stuff, it's pivotal to the film and all that other stuff aside, really, I think the importance of this scene is the fact it actually shows what a person is willing to do for love and what a person is willing to do for the person that they care about most. And it's a scene and a half for sure. It's excellently portrayed. It's excellently acted. It's a little awkward, but I mean, the scene as a whole is just well constructed, and it's just, I love it. Me as a person, like I said, as emotional as somebody who has a lot of people that they care about in their life. I mean, this scene got to me. I mean, it's a very
I'll agree with you. It's one of the most emotional scenes in the film, besides the ending. I just think Ryan Gosling's performance in there, and I don't remember the girl's name, but she is, oh god, she's so good in that role. And it just adds more emotions to their relationship and how much he really cares about her. And in a sense, like, it's kind of the Shape of Water effect. Like, they're both different people to humanity. Like, people think of them as both outcasts. He's a replicant and she's a hologram, in a sense. You know what I mean? Like, so
yeah,
you do believe in their love because, and maybe they don't. I know there's theories that say that he doesn't love her. It's just all he can have. But I do believe that they were in love and that the hologram does make him feel something that I don't think most replicants should, and which I really enjoy. So I like it. So going to my number 2 is the reason I picked this film. It's The Spectacular Now. Now, it's not the sexiest scene I've ever seen. It's not the hottest scene I've ever seen. But in fact, it's one of the most relatable and one of the most, what's the word? Realistic sex scenes. Cody, have you seen The Spectacular Now?
I saw it once when I was like 17, but
okay.
that was 5 years ago.
One, Miles Teller and Shailene Woodley give a fantastic performance, and this is it would probably be my number one if it wasn't for my number one. We'll get into my number one in a little bit, but the thing about The Spectacular Now is that this film, it's just, like I said, it's relatable. I'm not going to get into the details, but I could relate to the scene in some way, shape, or form. Take it to what you can. I'm not getting into that personal on this podcast because this is a movie podcast, not a sexual podcast, even though I kind of make it seem to be about sex and shitting. But it is very relatable in that instance. And, it's funny. I make fun of like shit humor in films, and I do that a lot. Oh, well. No wonder they put it in films. It's so easy to do.
That.
But the scene's relatable as hell. He's like messing around trying to put the condom on. He can't put it on, right? And they're just laughing. They're enjoying it. It doesn't really go into like them having sex, but it's just the leading up to it is so realistic, and I feel like a lot of people can inspire. And it's just the film in general is like amazing. Like, I love The Spectacular Now. It's one of the most underrated films I've ever seen. And Miles Teller, again, fantastic performance. Shailene Woodley, fantastic performance. Both very underrated actors, both very up and coming actors, and I can't wait to see what they do next. So I love that. But Cody, going on, what is your number one?
Number one, and this comes from a film that is an all-time classic, James Cameron's Titanic.
Finally,
now
no monkeys are
there is a couple of reasons why I really like this scene.
It's the first time I ever saw tits.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that is one of my reasons, because I think Titanic is definitely one of those films that put me through puberty, because I first watched Titanic when I was like 15 years old, and when I believe it was Kate Blanchett, wasn't it? It was Kate Blanchett. She gets on. Oh wait,
Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet. There you go.
Damn it, Cody.
I'm sorry. Okay. Look, I'm sorry, but that scene where you have Leonardo DiCaprio, fantastic performances by everybody around, and then Kate Winslet gets undressed and her boobs are just hanging there. Yeah,
How
it was definitely
not rated R. Like,
I don't know. I really don't. I mean, sex, lots of cursing, lots of violence. I mean, it's kind of a surprise that it wasn't rated R. But then we cut to the sex scene between Jack and Kate Winslet. And then you don't actually see the sex happen, but what you do see is one of those old 1940s, 1950s cars. There's steam coming up against the window, and you see somebody's hand smack the glass of the window.
We've all been there before, my friends.
Yeah, except for me.
I just
No, so once again, if we're gonna put the whole sexual and sensual nature out of it, also, it's very sensual, very emotional, because it's the first time that these two people from two different worlds fall in love with each other. One person is super rich, one person is super poor, and they fall in love with each other, and they create an unbreakable bond until Jack drowns, which he shouldn't have. But we can get into that at another time. But Titanic, as of right now, is my #1 sex scene that I have ever seen in a movie.
Well, I'm about to beat that sex scene with mine. You ready?
Oh gosh,
and I'm surprised. What is it? No,
is it?
No. No, I didn't bring this up with you because I didn't want you to take it. My #1 favorite sex scene is from Deadpool. That montage sex scene is.
Why am I not surprised?
One, for people who don't know, Deadpool is like one of my favorite films of all time. 2, I am Deadpool. 3,
I am.
One Deadpool. Of us might have had a montage kind of scene like that, so maybe it's kind of relatable to me as well. 4, someone might have been doing it while watching it too. 5, the film is just super entertaining. It's funny. It's great. When it starts, like they're playing skee ball, and all of a sudden we think, oh my god, they're gonna do it, and they're playing skee ball. Then it goes into it, balls and holes. I love it. The whole montage when they're going through the holidays, and then they get to the Happy Lint Day or something like that.
Yep.
The Thanksgiving stuffing, throwing it, that's great. But I think my favorite one is Happy International Women's Day. Happy International Women's Day. No. Oh, God.
Yeah, where it's getting pegged.
The Halloween thing. Happy Halloween. It's just one of the best. I was howling in the theater the first time I saw it. Everyone was. It was one of the best theater experiences I've ever seen, where I think everyone in that theater was laughing. And I remember my 2 friends that I took, who didn't know the character Deadpool, that, they're not into that kind of stuff, but they turned to me, and these 2 girls are just like, what the fuck? And I'm just like laughing. So to me, that is ultimately the best sex scene in any film ever made. Nothing will ever top it. It's almost impossible to top it. For me, it's amazing. Does it have the best meaning in the world for film? No. Is it one of the hottest scenes in the world? Not really, to be honest. But is it one of the funniest scenes in the world? Absolutely. I love that part. I love that scene. And that is one of the best sex scenes ever in film, in cinema, in history. And let me tell you, if I ever teach a film class, that is the first scene I'm showing my kids.
You're gonna... The first scene ever shown in Mr. Zach Pope's film class.
No.
Deadpool sex
Mr.
scene.
Pope. Actually, Dr.
Pope.
Dr. Pope. Professor Pope. Like, think of it. Imagine if I taught at Hogwarts. I would teach sex ed there. I would be like, Mr. Potter, you want to understand how to make little titty tatties? Well, I'm going to show you today. With my wand, I'm going to show you the spell of how to put a condom on, right? So how we do it is I'm going to show you the Deadpool skit. This is sex, but now Professor Pope will show you how to personally put a Potter penis in your pussy. Okay, we're done there. Thanks you guys so much for watching the Sweet Film Podcast this time. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching the installment of the Sweet Film Podcast. Cody is dying of laughter, and we appreciate it so much for all the support. You guys mean a ton to us. So again, make sure to put down your question of what you guys want us to talk about next on the next Sweet Film Podcast. This was a great discussion. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on Jurassic World 2. Are you guys Sky for if you have already seen it? I'm super lightheaded now because I'm hungry. And also, I want to hear about your guys' thoughts on the DCEU and the 2 Joker films and the It clown casting. This is great. Of course, we didn't even get the Bill Skarsgård. He's coming back as well. But Cody, before we get going, where can they find you at, my friend?
Well, first of all, would you guys like to see Zach teach sex eds at Hogwarts? Because I would actually like to see that now. But you guys, of course, you guys can find me as always on here on the Sweet Film Podcast.
Or teaching a sex ed class at Peter's Potter's Penis Club.
Okay. And, you know, talking with Zach, talking about film, having a great conversation. And who knows? Who knows what our next conversation will be? We'll see. But you guys can also find me on YouTube. Just search Cody Curtis. It should be the first name that pops up when you search that in the search bar. And as always, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram by just searching _Cody_Curtis. I'm happy to have a conversation with you guys. So leave your questions and we'll get back to you.
Thank you, my good... Thank you, my host. You guys can also find me on YouTube at Zach Pope. Of course, that's where you're watching this podcast. Also over on Twitter at Pope the King, or also on Sandwich on Films, where I put a bunch of my reviews and we talk movie news over there. So, guys, again, thank you so much for supporting the podcast. It means a ton to us. You guys are all the best. Can't wait to hear you guys' thoughts on this podcast, especially on my Potter voice. And of course, until next time, you guys all stay classy and have a sweet fucking day.